when Roger Goodell stands up, not necessarily against Trump's attack against DEI, but stands up and says that's separate from what we're doing, he doesn't have to look any further than Trump's cabinet. You mean to tell me those are the most qualified people politically to do those jobs? Those are the most experienced people to do those jobs? President Trump is the exact reason you need diversity, equity, and inclusion.
A cabinet that has perhaps more Fox hosts than people who...
You know what makes
people
them
of color.
Yes. No, don't do it. Let her finish.
And I would just ask, Scott, if race is not the issue, then why is DEI mentioned every
5
single
seconds.
day as a solution to every single problem that faces this
Because of how pervasive it is,
but do you
and
think
how
it's
hateful
really
it is
true?
to an actual conservative ideological view.
But do you think it is true that all of America's ills, from the plane crash to whatever it is, wildfires, due to DEI for real?
I think that if you believe in the fundamental principle of America, which is that we guarantee everybody an equal chance, not an equal outcome, but an equal chance, then trying to go around that principle, conservatives don't believe in it. And most people who believe in America don't believe in it, number one. Number two, the concept of not hiring the best person for the job in government or anywhere else has been repeatedly rejected by the American people, the Supreme Court, and everything else. And so
What do you get? So I guess what I'm saying is, like, if that is the case, then people are questioning the actual qualifications of many people Donald Trump hired for jobs.
Yeah.
So do you think that he actually...
Why?
Because Elon Musk doesn't even go here.
Do you think that he...
That's why.
This is the question people are asking. This is the question that Ryan Clark just asked. Did Donald Trump, for Health and Human Services, find the person with the best expertise to address
this is not a
when it comes to the Department of Defense, did he find the person with the best expertise to address those issues, or did he just find people who he liked?
Political appointees have one qualification. They serve at the pleasure of the president because the president believes that person's going to best carry out their agenda. That is the only qualification.
And to protect and defend the Constitution.
And that is the only. That's the only qualification for a political appointee.
Competency doesn't matter.
Of course they're competent. Of course he believes they're competent. If he didn't believe they were competent, he wouldn't appoint them.
I'm not being fair with that. You're not being fair with that response. She asked you a very simple question: yes or no. Look at the appointees. Do you believe DEI had anything to do with those appointees? Do you believe they were qualified? Do you think they would protect and defend the Constitution that represents all of the people of the United States of America?
He just answered
I think Mark Rubio.
I think you all have literally no idea how the government works, is what I actually
I do. I do. At a higher level than I do here.
A couple people at this table have...
Like what he said about the president, whoever's in charge is going to pick somebody that's going to align with their agenda. Right. Like Joe Biden, he picked a black vice president.
Yeah, because she was black.
Right. He picked a Supreme Court justice.
Fight for more votes from black people.
Yeah, a Supreme Court justice because she's black. Yeah. And she was picked because she's a woman and she doesn't know what a woman is.
Yeah.
He fits his agenda.
Yeah, she's not a judge. She's an activist.
Yeah.
These women are so toxic. Yeah. He answers your question, and then you patronize him by saying you didn't answer the question. He just answered the question.
Yeah, and you know what their faces, like her face and the other, I think her name is Miss Champion, her face, they got the same face as Kamala had when Trump was there. With that stupid, like, patronizing smile the whole time.
Right.
have served in the government.
Yeah, me too.
Including for this former president.
I just want to say that I think the premise that DEI exists and therefore the people that got the opportunity, perhaps because of DEI, are not qualified is a flawed premise.
Correct.
And I think that is what is so frustrating about the argument around DEI.
Kamala Harris is the poster child of DEI, and she was picked because she was a black woman.
Supposedly a black woman.
Yeah, well, a woman of color, and she's a woman. She absolutely sucked.
Yeah. She lost in a landslide.
Yeah, Republicans won the popular vote. That's how bad she...
Yeah. You know why, y'all? You know why Democrats lost so bad? Because y'all chose an unqualified candidate.
Yeah. Even though she's well-educated, she was not qualified at all. You picked her because she's a black woman, and you can keep black people loyal to the Democrats. That's why you did it. Politics.
We know in this country, historically, and even today, there are still injustices in this country based on race, based on gender, based on ideology.
Based on who you're
Yep, North Carolina.
But
Has those people been?
Yeah.
Has those people been helped in North Carolina regarding the hurricane?
Yeah, have they been made whole yet? Nope. But when they say things like this, it's injustice because of race, gender. But that goes both ways. It happens to white people.
Yeah.
It happens to conservatives. Sometimes it happens to them. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Stop making out that it only happens to black people.
Yeah, and it happens to like minorities.
Yeah.
Your daddy played
Golf with, yes.
Okay,
And
that
so-
happens every single day. We
It's
know
called-
that.
But it happens every single day all over the planet.
That's
the
what I'm
planet Earth. It is
And
human
so-
nature. It is human.
You know that dude from New York. He ain't even got to tell me where he from.
Yeah.
New York.
New Jersey.
Every
it
single,
doesn't seem
and we're the
like
best at it. We're the best at trying
We
to
know,
include
Donald Trump's our
people.
president.
Arthur, I guess that's a
You see that conduct? See
Yeah.
that face?
That's why black women have that stereotype for being angry black women.
Yeah, look at your face. They say that they did a study like on dating apps.
Yeah.
Black women are skipped the most.
Yeah, because
It's not because of racism. It's
attitude.
It's cultural at this point. That's
Yeah.
she epitomized black culture, black women.
yeah, that's angry black woman.
Yeah. Just won't y'all be relaxed like that white man, Scott Jennings?
Yeah, dude's nice, relaxed and stoic.
Even the woman, Alyssa from The View, she's on the show.
Yeah.
She's in here and she's calm, cool, and collected. Look at you. Look at your face. Look at this. Look at it. Look at that. Yeah. Look at it.
exactly my
Stereotypical
point. I
face.
agree with you. I think that it is true that there have been preferences not for merit since the dawn of time. And that in this country right now, the same people who are going after DEI, which is about giving opportunities to people who have been historically marginalized, are just as willing to hire their friends.
Is that what equity means? Giving opportunity or guaranteeing outcomes?
No, it's giving access.
Because that's what equity means.
Exactly.
Actually,
It's
Yeah,
giving
exactly.
There's a difference between
access.
equality and
Hold on.
equity.
No,
Hold
it's
on,
giving
Carrie,
access.
I just want to answer his question because I think
Wouldn't
this
talent
is
and-
super.
and hard work give
Scott,
you
I think this
access?
is incredibly
And
important for you to understand and for everybody to understand at home. Okay, this is where I think we go crossways on this issue. You just asked the question: what does equity mean? Does it mean equality or does it mean access to opportunities? And conservatives want to define it a particular way, but you have to acknowledge. I'm asking you to acknowledge that people who believe in DEI do not define it that way. They do not define it as equality.
I define it like when the president was shot at. That one white lady protected the president, couldn't even holster a weapon.
Yeah. That was equity. They gave her a job because she's a woman.
Yes, that's what we're talking about as Republicans. See, they want equity. They're claiming that equity and equality are the exact same thing.
It's not.
And it's not.
I think they define it as trying to guarantee outcomes, and I think they define
Yeah,
it
can
as
I
trying,
speak
as
to the
trying
maybe
to
not,
punish
like-
people they don't like.
Scott, that's
The not-
politically, wrong race, wrong
Speaking
gender.
from more of
He's
the
absolutely
women of the
right.
country.
The conversation about DEI and woke and all of that sounds about marginalized black and brown people who already are threatened seem to be threatened in this community, in this society, and they're not getting the same opportunities. It was the same thing with affirmative action. Went to UCLA, they got rid of affirmative action. Everyone said you got in because of affirmative action. When I graduated, affirmative action didn't take my test. Affirmative action didn't help me get to where I'm at today. It gave me access that I didn't have based on the opportunity that
Exactly.
I lacked because of the circumstances I was
You got
born
in that
into,
college
which
because
had
you was
nothing to
black.
do with me, but the country in which we live in. And so the reality is,
I understand her point of view. It gave her access because she is, for the most part, she is.
What happened to the white boy, the Asian boy, the Asian woman, the white woman who got overlooked because of that black woman? Stole her position at that college. Stole it from her.
Yeah, that's what it's. That's
And then they want to talk about white people are colonizers.
Yeah.
She said it herself.
Yeah,
She said it herself. She got in that college because she was black.
Yeah, affirmative action and DEI is like cousins, first
Yeah,
cousins,
same thing.
brother sister. It's the same thing. I mean, you mean well, but it incentivizes discrimination, legal discrimination.
And you know what? That policy has some utility back when this country was systemically racist.
Yeah.
But now,
No,
you got to do away with it.
yeah.
Have you
is
seen the
that for-
test scores of UCLA Medical, by the way?
My point being, Scott, is that everyone doesn't have the same access. People like to hire their friends. They like to hire the people that they like to be around.
Do you
and
think they like to
often-
hire the
also
best people
do
for the
think,
job?
but I also think around the idea of diversity.
No, Donald
it
Trump
should-
hired all of his friends.
The issue in this country right now is
Oh
we
my
live in
God. Can
different
you pause
realities.
just one
That's
second?
right.
Yeah,
I
look
live
at
in a
this.
reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you
And
know
I
that.
know what, Scott?
I got
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
Look,
me
I'm a
to,
New Yorker, not
I
in this
will
city.
run
You
the
cannot say
facts.
that. You
I
can't
will
say that
run-
in this city. I have a.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually.
let her finish.
Okay,
right
let her
here.
finish. Let her
I
finish.
got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table.
Oh, just because you got a law degree and all these degrees, you're so much smarter than everybody
Yeah,
else.
it doesn't mean you're good at what you do.
Well, she's good at what she do.
Man, she good at being an angry black woman. Patronizing.
I mean, I just hate this idea that just because you went to college and got a degree, you're like superior to everybody else.
Yeah.
As far as intelligence.
And she's at the same table as everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, she's probably trying to make the argument that she should be the CEO of CNN.
I guess. But she's sitting at the table and she says she doesn't have the same opportunities as the white man sitting to her side. And they're all at the table together. Just
Contradicts herself.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Fine by me.
And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because
in the White House?
even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
She's
Who she
even
work for, Obama or
she was even underpaid by Democrats.
clown? And you got all these college degrees, a law degree, and look, this guy from New York just probably got 25% of your education, just made you look like a fool.
Yeah.
Look at that face. Hey, but look at his face. This is the DEI right here.
Yeah.
DEI, everybody.
Yeah, her entire argument contradicted herself. She trying to say only like people like of a certain ideology underpays her and hires her, but no, even her own people hired her and supposedly underpaid her.
Yeah, you didn't work under the Trump administration.
Trump would have probably paid you more. You had some brains.
Scott.
Look,
Hey, he from New York.
Look at Alyssa's face.
Yeah. Look how cool. She got a smile on her face. Feminine.
But did you see Alyssa's face? She realized what he just did.
Yeah.
But the two black women, well, the black one, I don't think maybe the other black one beside Alyssa,
Yeah.
she's got her head down. She realizes what happened.
Yeah.
But the black woman that was addressing, she is so upset she's not even
She's
thinking.
not even paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm head Scott.
Look,
you're my friend. I respect you tremendously. I think you're probably the smartest operative in the Democratic Party, and they should listen to you more. That's number one. Number two, you and I share a comparable background. We're both from the Midwest. We both come from middle-class families, lower middle-class families maybe. I actually think we share a lot of similarities in our journey. But I think you made it, and you are the most respected voice often at every room or every table you're in, not because of anything other than your talent and your work ethic. And that's all anybody ever is asking for, is for people with talent and work ethic to make it. And that's what I see in you. That's how I see you.
But let me tell you something about my story and my family story. Is
she tearing up?
I don't know.
She kind of emotional.
She probably she's probably raised by a couple of poor Negroes like that.
that we have faced discrimination. I have faced discrimination. I just said I was the least paid person, even in this moment sometimes, to my counterparts. It is just the reality of the country we live in. And I'm not saying...
Hey, Kevin, you probably don't have the work experience. You have the college degree, you have the education, but how long you been doing this job?
Yeah.
How long your counterparts have been doing their jobs?
Yeah. How do they know how much money everyone makes?
You don't supposed to talk about that.
I mean, when we worked it, you didn't supposed to discuss
I'm
it.
sure there's something in the agreement. Hey, you can't tell anybody how much money you make.
Yeah. Let's do it. I should.
But look like he extended her olive branch and looked like she's going to ruin it.
Seen that dude, that New Yorker, just dragged her.
Yeah.
So he's showing some empathy.
Yeah.
I do believe I'm qualified. I know I'm qualified. You won't ever tell me I'm not qualified. But the system that I live in doesn't matter about my qualifications.
I don't agree
we're
because
there in
when
2025.
Oh, come
I don't think we're there in
on. You can't
don't
go. That's just not true. That's just not true.
There's a mountain of evidence that suggests that you are wrong. Okay, let's just
Again,
take
I'm
Ashley.
I'm a
let's
New Yorker,
just-
so I'm jaded. I have
okay.
the Attorney General is a
I'm
black
not-
woman.
okay,
The
we
mayor's
just
a
went-
black man. The head of the Senate is a black
just-
man.
Okay, New York is a small
Okay.
representation.
Well, small.
of the
New
United
York is not
States
that
You're
small.
talking about
America.
politics. Let me just talk. Let me talk about
Every judge I
numbers.
appear before
Because
is either a
Ashley
woman
just
or a
gave-
person of
Ashley
color.
just gave an anecdote, but the numbers also show black women are one of the most educated demographics in this country and
No,
one of the
they're
least
not.
paid. Why would that make any sense?
Why?
No, they're not.
We've debunked this. I don't know how
They're
many
not
times.
the most educated.
They are not the most educated.
They're the most educated in comparison to one demographic of people, black men. That's it.
The lowest of the low.
Yeah.
That is just ridiculous. I mean, as soon as you hear that, black women are the most educated in the country,
It's not, doesn't make sense.
you don't even have to check that.
Then once you find out what they get their degrees in, it's totally worthless.
Yeah, they don't get college degrees in like
Architecture, engineering.
or tech or
Yeah.
engineering, or high-paying jobs.
It's these
It's
bogus business degrees.
yeah.
Why would that make any sense? And don't talk to me about the judges you stand before. Talk to
Why?
me about the
Whoa,
theory.
hold on.
Talk to me about the
But
world
it
in
also-
which we live in and
Let's
the
look at
system
the
that
United
we live
States
in.
Supreme Court. How could you say we're not going to look at that from the top to the bottom? And I'm talking about the
okay,
legal
New
system.
York is a more
that I live in.
progressive
And we
state.
just got a black woman.
Hold up. Let me.
We just got a black woman on
Okay,
the
but you had a
board.
black
You brought
man
up-
from
you brought
the
up
70s.
You brought up the Supreme
or
Court.
the 60s.
One.
Did you know, Arthur, that there are many-
Hold on. What percentage of it does it represent the United States of America?
Why
So
is
why
it
does
so-
it matter?
but why
So we
is
gotta
it
go
so
by
hard?
Guys,
numbers?
one at a
Why,
time.
but
why
you-
is it so
So
hard
we
to
gotta- we can only
acknowledge
have-
what she just said?
can
Why
only
is it
have
so hard?
Why is it just
30% of
one?
justice.
Why is there only one Italian
No,
American?
but why is it so hard for you to acknowledge what she just said about black women being the most educated
I
and
did
the most
acknowledge it. I said
educated?
that's
And
not
you-
my experience.
Okay,
If that
but
was
we're
the case,
because
we
you're
would
not
have
a
more
black
black women
woman.
on the
No,
board.
I'm a
But
New
New-
Yorker,
but
and that's
New
not
York
the
is
way
not
it is in New
representative
York.
of the rest
You're
of America.
correct.
That's
You
that's
are
also what
correct.
It's also the most diversity in the country.
Well, that's exactly.
Like,
So of
why
course
wouldn't
there's
it
more
be? I think it's a
representation
little
in
more
women.
representative.
And Scott, I think if you really see you said something very beautiful. This is your friend. You guys share a lot of the same values. You guys think alike. You guys are literally friends off air. You text. You have good conversations. There is the yes and in that. There is something that says to me that you know what she's saying is true. You think she's smart. You know that she's smart. She's more educated than mostly everyone at this table. And so what she's saying isn't a lie. What she's saying is a real life experience. And so why is it so hard to understand why something like diversity, equity, inclusion needs to be a part of what we do in a system that never even acknowledged a group of people, never saw us as a human commodity?
Yeah, we did. Got a bunch of bucks from Africa and had you
They never looked at black people as a human commodity. What are you talking about? They brought us over here for labor.
well, I guess that don't count.
And we was the best labor.
Hey, Kevin, I guess we don't count. We didn't get paid. We didn't get no benefits or nothing.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
All they gave us was free houses,
Some cornbread and some chitlins.
and some collard greens. What meal?
Literally never noticed who we were. And now here we are years later asking for some simple rights, some simple civility. She's asking to be paid like you get paid. She's asking to be acknowledged like you get acknowledged. And she knows that that is not the case because she is a black woman.
She had a high-ranking position in the
Hey,
White House
dear
of the United
friend,
States of America.
Dear friend,
she is
there
one of
are-
the most
dear-
celebrated political operatives
let's
in the
talk
country.
about there's a
Do you know how hard I had to work to get that?
Do you know
we
how
all
hard?
have
Do
to
you
work
know
hard.
how
You know how
hard
hard I
the
had to
son
work
of a
to get
garbage
through law
man had to
school?
work at it? So I'm just telling you,
I'm not saying that, but
talent, and work
We're
ethic
not
are
saying-
everything.
we're
And
not-
Black women act like when they work, have to work hard, it's like twice as hard as everybody else.
Right.
When
right.
you probably worked at least hard because you got the job because you're black.
Yeah.
And feeling pity on you.
Yeah.
Everybody works hard for where they get in life. Nothing is easy.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Trump's kids or something.
They actually
Right?
think white
Trump's
people.
kids,
Yeah.
blowing the Trump, your life's a lot easier. It's still hard.
Yeah.
I mean, people's trying to throw your dad in jail.
Hey, the thing I find about black women, especially liberal black women, they are delusional. They suffer from social anxiety. They see things that's not there.
Yeah.
Scott Jenner's just pointed out she's one of the most celebrated people in her field. She had a high-ranking position in the White House, and she still don't think it's still not
never
good
enough.
It's never enough.
It's like giving black people reparations. Once the money is spent, it's never enough.
Yeah.
They're going to always want more. It's never enough.
You would never be able to give a black woman, black man, especially on the left, enough recognition for them to feel satisfied with anything.
Yeah.
That's why I think
it's
you're
not
here.
true. It's just not true. It's just
look,
not true.
The other thing is the access to opportunity is. I know you don't want to think that that is true, but access to opportunity is
And
what
that's the word.
DEI is supposed to address. And not just when it comes to race, although race is important, but when it comes to women, when it comes to people with disabilities,
That's right,
when it
Fran.
comes to people from different socioeconomic brackets, from rural parts of the country.
I think that's
and
the
other-
biggest issue. There's different socioeconomic brackets
So now
more
we're
than
trying
race
to
and gender.
say, now we're trying to say that everything is equal just because I say it is, even though all the evidence.
Who said everything is equal?
Well, that's literally
said this
we're
everything
like
is
we're already living in a meritocratic society, is what Scott and his colleagues want to say, when that's actually factually not true.
That is. Everything's based on meritocracy. How can you say facts are not true when you share an opinion? Yeah, we live in a meritocracy. Yeah. That's how it works. Are there people out there that hire people just because you're black, just because you're white, just because they know you? Of course.
But we both benefit from that on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
How many people voted for Hillary Clinton just because she's a woman? How many people voted for Kamala Harris just because she's a black woman?
Exactly.
Y'all act like that those benefits only exist for whites.
Yeah,
It
and the
benefits
right.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a mic drop right there.
Yeah. I remember on TikTok, all these black women showing them running to the polls to vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
Talking about they standing on business.
They standing on tomfoolery is what they standing on.